Hi guys, welcome back. Well, it is Boxing Day and I am just chomping on some of these Penn State pretzels. These are the sour cream and chai flavour and they are really nice. If I'm looking kind of windswept, it is because I am. I have just come back from quite a long walk and on my way home it did start to rain and it was really windy. So yeah. Anyway, this is my finished 6 by Christmas finale. And I didn't actually manage to finish a single item, which is not very good. But in my defense, I would say that I did start this project considerably later than most of the people, perhaps a month or 2 months after most of the people. So I didn't have as much time, and I have learnt 1 or 2 things from doing this project. And if I am to do the finished 7 by spring, I will definitely be picking items that I know I can use every day. The first item I was trying to use before Christmas is this Planet Spa Dead Sea Minerals Soothing Facial Serum. One of the reasons I wanted to use this up is because it contains glycolic acid, and that's one of those ingredients that is an active ingredient, so it's not going to stay active for very long, and if you don't use it up quite quickly then it just won't really do anything anymore. I found this quite difficult because it is a liquid exfoliant, and I feel like if you use too much of this kind of thing it's gonna irritate your skin and cause more problems than it's gonna actually resolve. I think this is probably more one for summer for me, and I also found that if I leave this on my skin for too long it kind of had a burning sensation, and I know that's kind of doing its job, but it wasn't something that I particularly enjoyed. I'll probably still incorporate this into my skincare routine every now and then, but it's definitely more of like an occasional use kind of product rather than something I would use every day. My d.i.y strawberry lip balm, I've made some progress on this, although like I say I haven't actually used anything up, but there isn't a whole lot left in there now, and it's always hard for me to use up a lip balm because even though I use a ton of this stuff, I very rarely stick to using the same lip balm all the time, so I always have multiple ones on the go. So that, all things considered, I think I'm doing quite well with this one, but it's not finished. I also have the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer in the shade Fair, and this is one item that at a push I could probably technically say is finished because there is not much in here. It's very difficult to get product out, and it's kind of starting to dry up a little bit as well, so I could chuck this and I would be fine about that. I wouldn't feel like it was a waste. So yeah, I could say this is finished, but I'm not going to say it's finished because there is still product in there, and if I really want I could get some more out, and I could remove the stopper as well. I also have the Caudalie Divine Oil, and this is something that I like to use just in a very small quantity on my hair, so again maybe not the best item to pick for a finished 6 by Christmas project, because obviously this is something that I'm not going to be using a ton of all of the time. In fact, it's something that I prefer to use rather sparingly. So although I am sad that I haven't managed to finish this up, I'm also rather happy that I still have some of this left to use because I do find it an enjoyable product. Another item here is the Forest People Iron Lip Serum. There's not a whole lot left in here. You can just see the product there at the bottom. I enjoy using this product. The little dropper thing hasn't worked for the longest time, so it doesn't actually squeeze in and pick up any product, but nevertheless I still managed to use this. I do like it. It is just basically jam-packed full of oils like macadamia oil, all kinds of stuff in there, so I do enjoy using this. I think it is very slightly past its expiry date, so I might not continue to use this on my eyes. I might just use it up somewhere else, maybe on my feet or something, somewhere I don't really care about. So I could technically say that one's finished, but it's not really. But I'm not sure I'm going to use it on my eyes anymore. Then we have the Quickmax Eyelash Growth Enhancer. Again, this is another product that contains some rather funky ingredients that I'm not sure are going to continue to be active for much longer. Although this is a relatively new product, I've not had it a ton of time. But again, this is something that I struggled to use because it's an extra step in my evening skincare routine, and it's just something that, to be honest, most of the time I'm too lazy to do. But yet when I am good about applying this, I do see good results in the terms of my eyelashes. The length and the condition has definitely improved, so I should really try and use this up. There's not a whole lot left in there. Anyway, I'm thinking about doing a finish 7 by spring project, and I think I would definitely be picking different items, items that I probably know I would be able to use every day, because I think the success out of this project for me has been that I've reached for things that I wouldn't have reached for otherwise, just by specifically trying to make a point of using them. However, I've not used them enough to use any of them up, so if I really want to do a finish 7 by spring, I really want to try and use some of the products I pick up, because I saw so many people finish up their products, all of their products, or most of their products in their finish 6 by Christmas finale videos, and I would love to be in that position. It would feel so satisfying. Anyway, that's it for this video. Sorry it wasn't a hugely successful finish 6 by Christmas project from me, but it was my first attempt and I was kind of starting quite a bit later than everyone else. Anyway, let me know what you think about me doing a finish 7 by spring project, and if you've got any tips and advice, I'd love to hear it. So, thanks for watching and bye for now!